Hello, LarpWright here. My name is Sebastian Martin, and today I want to rant about suicidal NPCs. What's up with some NPCs, maybe bandits in the woods, attacking player characters they have no hope of defeating, and then just throw themselves at them and die in vain, and don't even try to run away or anything. What's their motivation? Something like that is immersion breaking for me, because it makes no sense. And it's not a problem only in LARP, it is a problem in video games, on pen and paper RPGs. I would also call this episode useful, sensible encounters in PnP, or an RPG in general. I first became aware that this is a problem, at least for me it's a problem, way back when I was playing fantasy PnP with my friends. And we had like a high-level party with warriors and wizards and paladins, and then when they were traveling from place A to place B, they would have a random encounter set bandits in the woods. I was asking my game master, say dude, why are these bandits attacking a group of traveler who look like really tough fighters, and whose most valuable possessions are their weapons and armor? Why would they attack something like that? Why wouldn't they just hide from us? And the game master said, well, I have to give you something to do while you travel, or it would be boring. But I disagree. In PnP you can just skip the travel process and say, yeah, you travel to city B, you're there. Move on with the plot, move on with the meaningful encounters. Or in video games, I understand that in most cases it's to give the players some gameplay, because fighting in video games is most often very fun, but I still find myself wondering why all those NPCs, all those characters, would attack my character. They have no chance of defeating him. And why would they fight to the death and not run when they see that they have no chance? Recent example, Witcher 3. Your player character is like this really good sword fighter, a mutant, he can do magic. He might even be famous around the lands. But people ambush him and expect to win in a fight against him. You get attacked by wolves or wild dogs all the time, and no enemy ever runs. And of course, in LARP, the game masters often just want to give the players something to do, want that the fighters have something to fight. But if I'm playing a fighter on a LARP, I like to have a strong motivation. Why am I fighting? And I want to have the feeling that it matters that I am fighting and that I'm trying to fight well. For example, I was on this LARP convention 2 years in a row, and in the first year I tried to fight as good as I could, and I was really exhausting myself, and after each fight my character was lying bleeding on the ground, because I fought as long and as hard as I could. But then I noticed that was happening like every 2 hours. Some undead zombies, demons, whatever from the woods would just attack us in waves and waves and waves. And then, when most of the fighters were bleeding on the ground and only a few were left standing, they would stop for 2 hours for no apparent reason. I noticed the game masters were just sending off waves after waves of enemies until we couldn't fight them any longer, just to keep us busy. So in the next year I knew that, and then I would only go and do the fighting if I wanted to have a fight. If not, I would just do whatever else. Cooking, drinking, sleeping, running around in the woods trying to solve the plot. When I wanted to fight, I would go to the place where the fights were and fight as long as I wanted to, and then go back to camp. And there just wasn't as much drama and tension, because I knew it didn't really matter if I fought or not. The outcome would always stay the same. I think that not only the player characters should have motivation to fight, the non-player characters should have a discernible motivation why they are attacking the players. They shouldn't just be this mindless objects that are there to keep the fighters busy. They should have an agenda. Even if you have something as mindless as undeads, they usually don't stand up from the dead by themselves. There's usually a necromancer who will use these undeads to further his own agenda. So the player characters should be able to discern the agenda that necromancer has. Maybe in the first few fights he just wants to probe the defenses of the characters, and then maybe he sends in his worst troops to tire them out. But then he should keep sending them in and really tire the characters and the players out. And then he shouldn't wait for 4 hours till the players have time to recover and fortify their defenses. Then, when they are tired and down, he should send in his best troops, maybe make an appearance himself. And then it is really on. The players, the characters will have to fight for their lives to defeat this necromancer who uses his resources to further his own agenda and not to keep the players busy. Or if you have bandits in the woods, I was on one conventions and they did it really well. They told their NPCs, here you are bandits in the woods. If you die, you're dead. You come back to headquarters and we'll give you a new role, but that's it for the bandits. Be smart about it. And those bandits really kept those player characters on our toes. They would do hit and ran attacks. One time they would just run from the woods. They had snacked up on our camp and would just run straight for the tavern and steal the all the money from the tavern, the in-time money, and just run away again. And we were just too slow and didn't have enough ranged weapons to react to this threat. And we would follow them into the woods and they would just harass us and constantly fight a retreating battle with their ranged weapons, and we just couldn't get them. The whole convention we couldn't get them. We really hated those bandits. It was great. Or if you have something like Orcs, Warhammer Orcs, who are really just big, mindless brutes who love nothing better than to fight. Even those Orcs love to win their fights. And they will retreat from a fight to get more boys and come again and fight and win another day. At least for me, if the NPCs have discernible motivation and are not just mindless objects, for me that improves immersion and makes my whole role-playing experience more fun. And that's really all I have to say today. So, thanks and goodbye.